Guys, welcome back. Um, Today is our first post-match reaction, Brighton versus United. There have been some ups and downs. I have Gary with me. We're going to talk about some key moments of the game, how United did overall, and I want Gary's inputs about what he felt about the tactics, what we could have done better, what we did badly, and stuff like that. So, Gary, on to you. So, let me first pose this question. How do you feel after the game?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I think we were super, super, super lucky to come out there with a win, man. It was literally the last kick of the game, right?
Yeah.
Uh, look, honestly, I wouldn't call it vintage. I wouldn't call it anything. It was, it was not great to watch.
It was sad, no?
Look, I just think that Brighton played better, man. Honestly, man, they hit the
I
post
think so too.
at least 3 times, right? They
I
had
think
the
it was
better
4 or 5
chances.
times.
The
Huh?
stats show it. They had about 15
Mhm.
attempts on goal. We've had about 3 or 4. Like it just
Two.
goes it just goes to show, right? I mean, I think
Mhm.
Brighton's a better coach team. I honestly believe that. I think Manchester United, whether it's a lack of fitness or whether it's a lack of coaching, I just don't think we kind of, we could have done a lot better than we did. I just think we were so bad. Lot of, big spells of the game. We were just outmuscled by Brighton.
I think so too. Where do you think we lost it? Do you think we lost in the midfield, or do you think we lost at the back? Why do you think
Look,
Brighton did better?
the first problem I have with the whole team selection is that why is Lindelof there, right? You have
Hmm.
you have Bailly who had a really good game against Luton. He played really well with Maguire, and then you decide, okay, you know what? Let's change it again. Okay, let's have the fun of it.
Hmm.
Let's just try to keep it a bit different, right? Okay,
Hmm.
he's tried something different, right? He's tried to bring. I mean, what is the point of Lindelof? You have two slow defenders in central position. I mean,
Well,
the
it's
thing is,
hmm.
and then after that, what's very frustrating at the end of that is that you bring Bailly before you bring in Van der Beek. I mean, what is the point of that? I mean,
Okay, let's
no,
actually break this down a little bit more, right? So let's start off with what your opinion was with the starting lineup. What do you think it was? Were you happy with it?
well, we were set up to lose, right? I mean, why did we have
Mm,
Lindelof there in defense, right? Okay,
yeah.
the
So
problem.
let's go
Okay, the
from
first one. Okay,
back to
Lindelof, right?
front, right? Yeah.
Why did we have Lindelof there, right? We knew
Mm,
he made a string of errors against Crystal Palace. He was
yes.
landed on Luton. Then all of a
Yes.
sudden we decide, oh, okay, let's bring him back into defense, right? What was the point of that? I don't understand what Ole and the coaching staff are thinking, right? What was the point
Mm,
of bringing Lindelof back into the team? We had a good enough defender with Harry Maguire. Now you got to partner him with a good, solid, fast defender next to him. Eric Bailly
right.
was there. He's not injured. He's ready to play. Why didn't we put him there to start with, right?
Sure. Um, I think I think the Lindelof selection was probably driven by best of the bad choices. I think
Yeah, but
I
then you've got Eric Bailly
in
there. I mean, what was the point? I
well,
don't understand.
I, I tend to
I mean,
agree.
clearly Ole doesn't rate Eric Bailly. Okay, we know that, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly. So
if
why
you've
is he
got a set of
even
players that you do not
hmm,
rate, you
let them
have to
go?
tell the club, yes, I want to let this player go, so I can
Hmm,
bring the players I want into the club. Okay,
hmm.
like it's just there's no point
Right.
keeping a bloated squad there with 20, 30, 40 players there. We're not going to play the game.
Hmm, exactly.
Like, you just got to make your mind up. That's the problem I have with Ole, right? He sort
See,
of gives mixed signals about team selections,
hmm,
right?
of
That is the
course he
problem,
does.
right? And that not just affects the fans, but it kind of affects the players as well, because
Absolutely.
from a player's standpoint, you don't know what he's going to do next, right? When you have
Right.
a manager who's unpredictable, that's
Hmm.
dangerous territory. Okay, like
Yep.
we cannot have that. We need to have a manager who's got a clear set of plans on what he wants
Uh-huh.
to do and how he's going to set his team forward, right? We
Right.
cannot afford to have ambiguity around team
Hmm.
selection and style of play and things like that, right? It's got to be
So I
clear from day one.
absolutely. So I think it starts at the back, right? So here's a general take on what has happened, right? So we could easily blame Lindelof and Maguire for what they are as defenders. But I think when you look at the play and you look at where their shots came from, it came from predominantly where Bissaka was defending on the right hand side. So what had happened was people were moving into play, they cut inside, and there were four shots, out of which three of them hit the bar. Maybe one just missed, but I don't know. But
The
it
post,
always
yeah.
from yeah always came from their left and our right,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So Wan Bissaka, I think, had a poor game
mm.
in certain sense. Yes, he cut off a lot of balls, but I think when so much of players came from the right, do you think it was somebody else at fault? Do you think the midfield was at fault? Do you think Matic was the right selection? Now
Look,
we
look,
were
look, mate. I
from the
think
back to the front. Right?
end of the day, it's about how I kind of put it. It's a jigsaw puzzle, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
all the pieces need to fit together, right? When you have
yeah.
pieces from different jigsaw puzzles and you're trying to kind of squeeze them in together, right? It's not going to come together, right? Because the pieces just doesn't fit, right?
Fit right.
And I think that's kind of the feeling you get with this whole Manchester United team. It's like you've got, you know, different. It's like a 500 piece jigsaw puzzle, and you got
Right,
500 different pieces, and all
right,
not all of it fit together, right?
right,
We're getting bits and
right.
pieces from the Mourinho puzzle, and you're getting the Van
Yeah,
Gaal
getting
puzzle, and you're getting
yeah.
the Ole puzzle, and it's just
It's
there's
just
just
so
it's just like
hmm,
I don't even know the word for it. It's just like we just can't.
frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating because we can't seem to get. We just don't know the direction we're going in, and the coaching stuff, man. I mean, come on, man. What was the point in bringing Van de Beek, right? Close to 90
Yes.
minutes, man. What was the point of bringing him then? Like,
Yeah.
you need to make those calls a lot
A lot of.
earlier. 68
So
minutes,
let's.
Van de Beek needs to come in. Pogba,
Yeah.
clearly, he's still recovering from COVID, man. I don't know. Look, I don't know what you say, but I'm telling you,
Hmm.
he's still not fit, right?
I. You know what, dude? I think there were certain. Okay, let's talk. Let's break this game down, right?
Mm.
I think the overarching message was I think we're lucky to win. I don't think we deserved it, but we're happy that we came back with when we
Mm.
came away with 3 points. So let's start from the back. I think when you look at the back four as defenders and De Gea, I think De Gea has a fantastic game. I think he did everything well. I think he did what he needed to. I think he's done what he was paid for. Let's agree on that, no?
Yeah, look, De Gea had a really good game in the
Mm.
in the dying minutes of the game. He had a superb save. Although it
Yeah.
came right in front of him, he still had to make that save.
Yes.
I just feel like we're getting to the stage where De Gea of the
The
2015
past.
2014 season is like
Yeah.
coming back into play. The guy who was like
Hmm.
saving us. Hey, that's my blue.
Oh, dude. I think we needed to go through a few of these
uh, I need one
fucking
of
game, right?
this, man. Such a good.
Yeah. Fuck me, dude. It's
But
like
yeah, I think
frustrating, right?
yeah. So I think he had a really good game. I think, look, honestly, man, we just need
It
to
was
work
okay,
on a structure
right?
for the team, right?
Absolutely.
Because for a team to work effectively, we need clear direction on the way we are going to attack, the way we're going to
Right?
defend, the way we're going to
Mhm.
build up play, the way we're going to break up play, right? It
Exactly.
needs
So
to
where do you
be
think it broke
coherent.
down today?
It's
Where do you think it
defense,
broke down today?
man. I think we
Do you
just
think it's defense? I think there was. some amount of midfield to be blamed today as well.
No, because
They got past
look, everything
some
starts
players.
from defense, right? You've got to have, look, your midfielders can't push forward if your defenders are holding you back. Okay?
But okay, get it.
Okay? Right? It has to be from the back, right? Your goalkeeper's got to be commanding. He's got to like really be like a Van der Sar kind of personality who's like shouting. I think they had a really good game today. I
Yeah.
think the defense is still the central defense, man, is still a major issue for United, right? We've got two
So,
defenders
mhm,
who are slow. I don't think they will never convince me in a million years, man, that they're the best partnership. There's so many flaws
no,
between them. They're so
no,
similar, right?
mm,
In fact, I think
very similar.
like you mentioned, Chai. I think Lindelof is actually a better defender than Maguire.
Sometimes I
But
think
the
he's a little
problem
more
is,
agile than
but the
some.
problem is we've paid 80 million for Maguire, right? You can't just put him in the bench. And he's our captain as well, for God's sake.
See, I think Maguire is running into this whole. I think endurance point of view. I think he's going a little too far. I think we might
Yeah,
have stretched him,
and then you've got
especially mentally. What he's been fucking Greece and shit like that. I think he needs to deserve rest. Huh?
But I think like more than that, Pogba as well. Like I mean, he's just not fit, man. I don't see the point of starting Pogba in this game. We should have so started Van der Beek. Van der Beek is match fit. He's obviously
Mm.
quality, man. I think honestly, he's our best midfielder in the team. All right. I'm sorry to say this. I think he's even better than Bruno. He just brings so much
Mm.
more to that team when he's there. Like his link up play is next to nothing. Like with
Yeah.
Martial, and I think he would have just provided us a lot more, going forward if we had included him from the first minute. But
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah. See, look, there were okay. So here's how I break down the game, right? I think I break it down by how the defense did, midfield did, and the forwards did. I think the forwards. le- Let's talk about the transition of play,
mm,
right? I think we were overpowered by Brighton in the sense that we weren't quick enough to pass the ball from the back. I don't think we made an impact there.
mm.
I think we had an
Which is a
we
problem with the defense. Okay.
exactly. So this is where I get this weird feeling saying, why don't you just fucking kick the ball out? You know why you don't have to play from the back? I mean, it's okay if you just punt it out, right? So anyway, that's for a future conversation. But what I'm trying to say is, you don't have quick ball playing defenders, so you're relying on the midfield a lot more. And the amount, why is Bruno in the penalty box is my primary question, giving off a penalty, right? It shouldn't be Bruno. It should be Pogba. It should be Matic. What are they doing so badly that Bruno had to come back and save us, right? So there was something broken down between the defense and the midfield. We understand that.
Mm.
And there's something that is broken down between the midfield and the forward line because we had only bloody 5 or 6 shots on target. So the transition is the question, right?
And let me
So
ask you this question:
mhm.
How do you improve your transition? It's the coaching, right?
Coaching. Absolutely. Coaching,
has
dude.
to be there. I just think, man, you know what? I'm tired of talking about this. I think the coach proof within Manchester United, we are a top tier club. We cannot afford to have
No.
coaches or inexperienced in the team, right? It's a bit like you, Chai. If you
Yeah.
had to go to apply for a job at,
Just
HSBC, right?
or whatever, right?
HSBC,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you've got to make sure that you are the best talent out there, right? For it.
At least you shouldn't showcase it.
Kind of lead the employees within HSBC, right? Because
Yeah.
you got so many people under you, right?
Hmm.
But if one day you decide, you tell yourself that, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not the right person for this job, or maybe I'm like,
Right.
like I'm just not good enough, right?
Yeah.
Like why can't Manchester United, or why can't his employees decide? I mean, Carrick, he's a diehard Manu fan. Phelan, diehard Manu. But you don't know so much, right? But these guys need to realize that maybe they're not fit enough to lead Man U into the next level, right?
Look, you and me are diehard Manchester United fans. Are we getting a chance to fucking go do whatever we have to do to
But
win
we're
this?
not, because we're not qualified, Chai. I don't
Yeah,
have my
exactly.
coaching
But
badges. You don't have your coaching
are
badges.
there? Does fucking Garry have coaching badges? He just fucking finished playing and he's playing for. He's just kind of fit in, right?
Mm.
Okay, you know what? Here's my 3-point review, right? If there were one.
Mm.
I think we fucked up miserably with regards to our selection in the first place.
Oh, massive fuck up. Massive fuck
I
up.
think Van de Beek would have played before Pogba, and Pogba should have been introduced later, in my opinion. Pogba had a decent game. I have nothing against it, right? It's fine. Second, I have a problem with the defense, and defense always comes into very questions and stuff like that. All the attacks were from the right, right? So there were two players in question: Greenwood, who's playing on the left for us, and there is on the right, and there's Aaron Bissaka. So those two players kind of had to face the brunt about where their attacks were coming from. What I also fucking had a problem with how easily they broke up our midfield. Our midfield with like literally a World Cup winner in Pogba and our best player from last season, Bruno, and Matic, actually, who had a relatively good game, were struggling to play against Lallana, the Liverpool reject, and some other kid who was quick enough to get a penalty against Bruno, right? It's frustrating watching this.
You know what? I think end of the day, I think we didn't deserve the win, but we got the win in the end. I think we've got to think of it collectively
That's
as
the
a
positive.
team.
Okay.
We've got to build on our fitness.
We've
got to build on our interlink play and all that. But I think end of the day, we play Brighton again in a couple of days.
We play Brighton again, yeah.
So if they kick us out, that's fine. That's one less. Maybe 10 less fixtures, five less fixtures or whatever we have throughout the season. So I think we've just got to reflect on what we did well, what we did badly, and hopefully I just hope, man. At this point, I just hope we get Jadon Sancho and maybe tell us.
But
I think
the question. Here's the question again, right? Would you think we would have played better with Jadon Sancho? I think.
Look, I think it's not about playing well. I think we need a morale boost in the club. I think it's just that Jadon Sancho signing will give us maybe a boost for the next 10 games, and then 10 games later we'll come down, and then we'll have the same conversation. Oh, okay, was Jadon Sancho enough? Probably not, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I think we need quality in the team. It's clear that Ole and the coaching staff rely on quality more than coaching. So we've got to kind of, play to their strengths. And I think Jadon Sancho is a step in the right direction. But I think, Chai, I think we're nearly done, huh?
Yeah, but before we quickly disappear in our own little aimless Saturday night.
Hey, I'm having my beer.
So let me do this really quickly, right? So let's go play ratings, right? Let's understand how we played. So De Gea, what would you give him out of 10?
Well, De Gea did really well. I think it'll be about 7 or 8. I think about 8. He saved that last minute thing. He didn't really do anything wrong, man. I think he did 8. It's good.
I think I'd give him about a 7. The only qualm I have with him was I think if he had better defenders, ball-playing defenders, I think he would have quickened the play a little bit. But anyway, I had no questions about him. So 7 or 8 would be what I would give him as well. So Luke, what do you think about him?
I'll give him about a 7. I think he did well going forward, but I think some of his passes were a bit astray. He could do better with some of the passes. But I think he's still, you have to remember that he just came back from a major injury. So, and he's always injury prone. So, but I think when he plays, I think he gives us a bit of impetus on the left. I think he's going to become a key player for us. I mean, whether Taylor signs or not, I think it's going to give us good competition on the left. So I think it's only going to improve Shaw.
So I think his relationship with Marcus Rashford could have been leveraged a little bit more in this game. We'll come to Marcus Rashford in a little bit, but what do you think about the center field? Center duo?
I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm going to give them 5 each, man. I don't think they're good enough, man. Maguire and Lindelof, they just don't work together, man. They're just too similar. Like when you talk about, partnerships, it's got to complement each other. When you have two similar players, it's not going to work because they've got, the same strengths and the same weaknesses, right? So you're not getting the best out of your partnership. And I think,
but Maguire scored today.
Maguire scored. I mean, he was at the right place at the right time. So,
I guess so.
Yeah.
So here's where I have the problem with the centre-back partnership, right? I think we need quicker centre-backs, and neither of them are quick. Everybody brings that quickness in them, but I think he's a little too error-prone too. Anyway, so there is a definite position of strengthening that United need to do. And I think centre-back, like one of them, actually, as you said, I think both of them had a very poor game. When you see De Gea playing from the back, you'd be like, come on, guys, you just punt the ball. You're better off probability-wise when you kick the ball up rather than playing against your little thing, right? Anyway, so centre-backs, obviously 5 and 5. I'd probably give them Maguire because he scored. I'd probably give him a 6. Lindelof was there. He's present. So it was okay. Bissaka, I think he had an okay game defensively.
What do you give him, Chai?
I'd give him like a fat old 6, I think. I think he had nothing special. He was there.
He had some key interceptions. I'll give him a 6. But I think he still needs to do a lot more going forward.
Dude,
I just think that he needs to support Greenwood a lot
because
more.
He needs to realize the fact that he's playing with Greenwood, who's 19, literally.
Yeah.
He needs to realize that he's going to do a little bit more heavy lifting when it comes to going forward and being a little more creative at that point. Defensively, okay, man. You know what? I don't give a shit. If defensively defensive, right? But the attacks came from his end, so I don't know if he was doing as well as we said. Now moving towards the midfield, we had a midfield trio of Bruno, Matic, and Pogba. In my opinion, the best in Europe, or probably getting close to that. I can't think of a legacy-wise a better defense. Better midfield. But how do we translate that into performances?
Look. I think Pogba is still unfit, man. I think he's just, still struggling from COVID. I think he needs a rest.
And he was unhappy when he was going away, huh?
This is the problem I have with Ole, right? He just seems to have this preference for players, and he doesn't. I just feel like we're going so back in time. We're going back before Sir Alex Ferguson took over the club, right? We're going back into the 60s, 50s. It's like, okay, you guys just need to fucking put all your effort in, die for the club, and not worry about anything else. Like, I mean, it's so archaic, man. Like, we've got potentially 40 to 60 games, right, this season. Like, depending on how well we do throughout the season, we'll have potentially 40 to 60 games throughout the season. We cannot afford to have injuries in the team, right? And I just feel like Ole, well, let me take a step back. I don't know whether it's Ole or his coaching staff are recommending, players are injured or semi-fit to be included in the starting lineup. I just feel baffling, right? I just feel like it's so like 1960s. We cannot afford to do that, Chai. We've got to have fit players for the team, right? We've got to have. When the Beek was fit, what was the point of playing Pogba there? Like, if we could have gone super offensive in the first half an hour, got 2 or 3 goals, scored, right? And then maybe after that you can take out Pogba or Van de Beek and then bring in
even Bruno. Huh?
Yeah, Bruno. I mean, whoever it is, right? Even McTominay to kind of consolidate the midfield and kind of protect the defense. We could have done that, right? But we decided to go neither here nor there. That's what's really frustrating.
That's what fucking frustrated me.
It just seems to me like there's no direction, man. Look, I don't know anything about coaching and all that. But I can tell you this, right? The team selection was wrong. I think we could have done a lot better with team selection.
Uh,
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that. I think he decided to go with his strongest team in his infinite wisdom, and I think his strongest team constituted of a midfield of Pogba, Matic, and Bruno, which won us a lot of games last season. And things have changed, right? So Pogba is unfit to a certain extent, and he was pissed off when he came off as well, right? Now, here's the question: does he deserve a start? I think Pogba. Look, when the game started, the reason I felt that their midfield was better in this game than us was the fact that in less than 45 minutes or before the first half, we had two of our midfielders booked, right? What the fuck is our number 10 in Bruno Fernandes, or I don't know how you call it, number 10, right? So
Yeah, he's number 10. He played number 10,
right?
Mm.
Yeah. So how is he getting fouled and giving off a penalty in our own half? That doesn't make sense.
Mate, that's a really good question because there's a lack of structure,
fucking
organization
midfield, right?
within the midfield, right? Bruno Fernandes should be the most forward player. He should be next to Martial, right?
Correct.
There's no need for him to be there. But the problem is he gets frustrated because he's not getting the balls that he needs, right? So he's being forced. The thing is, like, the coaching staff need to tell their players where their boundaries are, right? In terms of how far back they can come, right? It's clear to me that there has been no coaching in the team as far as where the players can go, where the players need to go. It's a bit like, okay, you know what, Bruno, you're the star player. You go and do what you think is right, and then not worry about anything else. It just frustrates me, man, because I just feel like the team as a whole can play a lot better, and I'm very frustrated. I'm very disappointed with Ole because I thought he would have gone out. Okay, here's the thing, right? Sir Alex Ferguson, right, was one of the greatest Manchester United managers of all time, right? Even he used to change out his coaching staff, right, every few years, right? When things got a bit stale, right? I think it was the 06 season, 07 season. I think he brought in Carlos Queiroz, right? And Sir Alex Ferguson, even to date, has very, very high regard for Carlos Queiroz because he would say that Carlos Queiroz is the smartest person that he has ever brought into Manchester United. Because of Carlos Queiroz's hire, we actually won, the Champions League again.
Yeah.
I just think that, Ole needs to really look at his stuff again. I just think that the big problems there, man, because I think we cannot go into the new season with his current coaching staff, man. I think Ole does a really good job from a man management standpoint, but I think what he's lacking in coaching.
I think he's too nice, yeah.
I don't know whether it's too nice, right? Because we only see one side of the coin, right? We don't see how he's like in the when they go in for the dugout and the first team, halftime team talk and all that. But the problem is that I don't think he's got the coaching to kind of support him to be a winning manager, right? It's just like he's got to decide he's got to decide what he wants out of this thing, right? If he wants to be nicey with all the coaching stuff and all that, then I don't think we're going to be, we're going to get to the level we want to be. But I think if he's really serious about taking Manchester United to where it needs to go, then he really needs to, excuse my French,
get his shit together,
pull his finger out, and actually hire some good technical coaches out there.
So here's what I believe the game was, right? To give a quick overtake of, we spoke about the defense, we spoke about the midfield. So for me, this is where I think it broke down for us, right? I think the midfield wasn't strong enough, even with our best midfield, technically. We allowed them to filter through our midfield like we were a sieve, literally a fucking sieve, right? With Pogba, with fucking Bruno and Matic. Sometimes Bruno being a last fucking protocol gave away the fucking penalty. we can't let that happen positionally. Like, he's running like fucking he's a box to box essentially then, right?
Yeah, I think let me just wrap it up with the forward line as well. I think
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I don't, yeah.
yeah, I think look, Greenwood did okay. I think I'll give him about
Green
a
was
7.
young. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
think Martial somewhat disappointing because I think he had some few touches there. I'll give him about a 6.
6.
Rashford, apart from his goal, I really don't think he, did too
Did
much.
anything else?
I think there's still something kind of, there's some problem whether it's from a legacy of his injury from last season. I think there's
Yeah.
still something wrong with Rashford that I think we need to really drill down into, because I think he can play a lot better than what he's showing right now.
Absolutely.
But you know
So,
what, Chai, end of the day, it's a win for
it's a win.
us.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. We go
Yeah.
with 3 points after a disappointing weekend last weekend. We take 3 points. We've got Tottenham on the next league game, but
Premier League
before
thing,
that
yeah.
we've got Brighton again. League Cup. What's your predictions for the League Cup?
So I think based off today, I think we were lucky to get the 3 points. I think Brighton will be a little bit more competitive in the League Cup. I think because it's their glory as well, right? So they would put more efforts on the League Cup than we would typically. I think there'll be a bigger competition then. I think we'll probably have to rotate a squad in the sense that we'll probably play Van de Beek for a little longer, Henderson and in goal and stuff like that. We will probably rotate it, but you never know. You never know. I think we might get past them. I think we might get past them in the same biscuit that we did just now. Overall, I think I have a very negative feeling about Man United, regardless. And this is just coming from the fact that we had a big loss against Crystal Palace at home. And I think this one was just lucky that we just got through. I think there were a lot of people to blame with regards to either personnel or Ole's tactics in general. You can't wait 90 minutes, 80 minutes to make a midfield substitution when you know your midfield is overrun, either due to age or whatever they put in. Marcus Rashford's always prone to favoritism, and I believe that. I don't think Martial needed to go off. I don't think Pogba needed to start. It's just so many different moving parts, boss. I think we were lucky to win and won, so it's good. But I'm not confident about the season, boss. And that's me just saying this.
Yeah, we just have to.
We're in position for the 6th, and I hope they prove me wrong, but I think we're 6th. Top 6 material, yeah, we might be. I think Everton's going to fucking take care of us better than fucking anybody else, right? Imagine playing like this for Liverpool, right? Liverpool would have carved us open like a fucking turkey, right? And fucking East us there. And that's exactly what would have happened. And Maguire and Lindelof are going to fucking see stars. But anyway, that's a conversation for later. Good to fucking win the first win of the fucking season, but I think it's a long ways to go.
Yeah, man. Let's see how we go.
Let's see.
The week.
Let's drink our sorrows, huh?
Yeah. All right, man. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy. See you soon.